up. Wait. You fuck out my face.
Watch this.
What it do, Jive Turkeys? It's seeing Elliott-Carter of the Controversity. And as you see, I'm not in my studios. I'm here at my girlfriend's parents' house, self-quarantined, so I don't catch the corona. Hopefully I can do this whole voice, the whole review. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah. So this is a review of this Netflix show called Tiger King. It's up there with some of my favorite documentaries, like the R. Kelly one with the guy that peed on the girls, and then the Fyre Fest one, which was very entertaining, that dropped last year. This one right here, very entertaining, very weird, and nothing I've ever seen in my life. Alright, I'm sorry doing that. There's this dude, his name is Joe Exotic. Yeah, that sounds like a very cheap porn name. He's this guy with a mullet. He's got like tattoos and piercings everywhere. He just looks like something that just was built from meth and money. And he owns his own zoo. But you get the sense that he cares about animals to an extent, but he's all about entertainment. He's all about being the limelight. He's all about being that person that's just famous. And I actually saw him in 2016. I remember John Oliver, and they touched on this on the documentary. He was saying, hey, there's other candidates besides Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and he brought up some random people running for president. I remember watching a clip of his video, and I was like, who is this goofy redneck little gay man? It was the funniest thing ever, and he almost had my vote just because it was so funny. This guy definitely was made for entertainment, but I digress. But I do remember seeing that. But then when people just started saying, hey, you should watch Tiger King, I'm like, what is this Tiger King about? Within 5 minutes of watching this show, I was like, yo, this dude looks so familiar, and it dawned on me. I remember when he was running for president. It was hilarious. Anyway, so this show it's all about crime and murder and it's revenge, and it's the most pettiest thing ever. But it just shows you like what money and drugs can do to somebody. So this guy Joe Exotic, he's in a war with this chick from Tampa, Florida, Hillsborough County, where I'm actually living right now. Her name is Carol. Let me double check her last name. Don't harass her if you see her, by the way. Carol Baskin, which lives, like I said, in Tampa, Florida. She's out to call out everybody that owns a zoo and that's just treating animals wrong. That's her mission in life, which we'll get back to that because she's kind of hypocritical about that. But anyways, within a reason though, there's a lot of people out there that are just owning zoos and just not doing what they need to be doing. They're just in it for themselves. You see a lot of them use these tigers and lions to try to get sex, to try to attract people, to try to get this money. They just seems like there's lack of empathy and care for these animals. But she's calling out Joe and all these other people. A lot of people just don't pay her any mind. But Joe, not Joe Exotic, he's ready to go to war. As soon as he said his name, he's like, nah, we gonna fight. So he makes multiple videos about this chick trying to just destroy her character, and to the extent even trying to kill her, as you can see in this documentary if you watched it. Yeah, there's also a segment too about how she's not the perfect person either. From what it seemed like, she does exactly what she calls other people out for. She treats her employees like crap. She doesn't take really good care of her zoo. And there's actually a very, very well put together conspiracy that she actually possibly got her ex-husband killed. And it's actually really believable. So there's not really a lot of redeeming good people in this documentary. I will say this, Joe. Joe is a terrible person, and he deserves to be in jail. But I gotta say this: I would hang out with him for at least a day. He seems like I would have a good time hanging with him. He seems like a really cool guy, despite all the other crappy stuff he does. But yeah, it just shows there's other zoos out there. Like, there's this guy that seems like he legit owns a cult. He doesn't pay his employees. He just pays them in sex, and they just move up by treating him like God. And I don't know. It's just crazy. And like I said, Joe seems like a very, very he just his drug of choice is fame. He just loves the limelight. But the biggest jerk in this show is not the Carol chick, not Joe, not even the cult guy I was just talking about. This is guy that Joe reaches out to, or the guy reaches out to Joe, I don't even know how it started, to try and get him back on track, because there was this time where he was losing a lot of money. He was in danger of losing his zoo, and he was going through a lot of lawsuits and stuff like that. But he gets this guy, and I don't remember his name because I don't choose to remember jerk-offs like this, but this guy seemed like he legit was trying to help him out and get him on track, and even help with that problem of the Carol chick going at him, like to an extent of trying to get her killed. And then, like clockwork, he flips on him. He does a 6ix9ine. He snitches. He does all this other crap. He turns on the guy, and it ends up with him owning Joe's zoo. It ends with him getting Joe arrested and getting all everything that Joe owns, and he starting to form his own zoo, which he screws other employees over in the process. That guy right there, I don't know who he is, but he's the real villain of this movie, or this documentary. And Joe's in prison right now. He deserves to be in prison with Joe. And I don't know, he's a terrible person, and I see dirtbags like that all the time that just win in life. And yeah, hopefully this documentary, like it did with the R. Kelly documentary, hopefully it'll get some justice for everybody. But at the end of the day, the real losers in this documentary was the animals. It just seems like it was an eye-opener, that my confirmation of how people are terrible and crappy. It just confirms it. And it seemed like there was a lot of lack of empathy and lack of love for all these animals, because there's a lot of drama going on in front of you, like, hey, I want to kill her, and hey, I want to shut them down, and hey, it's just all this petty gossip crap. But then you see these bears and tigers and lions and monkeys in the background, and you're like, wow, they're just locked up in the cage, just there, you know. And that's why I don't like zoos that much. I prefer animals to be in their natural habitat. Seriously, it makes me sad to see stuff like that. And you know, these people just using these animals for sex, they're using them for profit, for money, and it just sucked. It really did. And there's not really too many redeemable people in this documentary, but it was very entertaining. It was hard not to watch. But yeah, did you watch The Tiger King? What'd you think about it? Would you hang out with Joe like I do? Do you think Carol actually killed her husband? Let me know in the comments. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Help keep a brother off the streets by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Peace.